Hello, Patriots, and welcome again to the channel. Usually on Fridays, I upload a video to Patriot Point, but this week we've got more topics that we can cover, so I've actually uploaded two separate videos. Make sure you go out and check out the other one. The link for it is in the description of this video. It's about the Breonna Taylor riots going on in Kentucky right now. Some really good information there that I hope you'll make sure to take time to listen to. But this video is going to be talking about the worst things that are going to be on the ballot here in Kentucky in the year 2020. But we're going to start off with our sponsorship because, yes, this video is sponsored. This video is brought to you by the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, guaranteeing the rights of the accused through due process of law since 1791. Yes, the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution. Hope you don't need it. You'll be glad you have it if you do. Well, let's talk now about some of the things going to be the worst things on the ballot here in Kentucky in the year 2020. One of the worst things is this new law up for a vote called Marsy's Law. And no, it has nothing to do with the Peanuts character Marcy. That I actually like. But no, Marsy's Law is something that sounds really good. It's about, they say, protecting the rights of victims from crime. Now, that sounds really good, but in reality, it's not actually good. And we've kind of been tricked. It's like when somebody gets up a thing of cauliflower and they whip it up where it looks like mashed potatoes and they get it all hot and steamy and put the butter in, it's melty, and you get a big old scoop because you think you're getting some nice mashed potatoes, and then it's cauliflower. You think it's going to be good, but it's not. Well, this Marsy's Law is the same way. On the surface, this sounds great, protecting victims' rights from crime, but there's a lot of unintended consequences which actually make this a bad thing. Back in the year 2016, the state of South Dakota passed this law, and then just 2 years later, they had to repeal it because they were promised it was all this great stuff, but it had a ton of unintended consequences. And we don't want Kentucky going through the same thing. Let's first of all talking about protecting victims' rights. Now, this law would actually mean that the accused has less rights than the supposed victim. And one of the problems with this is it establishes who is the victim and that a crime has been committed before any judge or jury has determined that there has been a crime and who the criminal is. We just have someone who's been established as the criminal and have certain rights and privileges taken away from them just because somebody accused them of this. This is a major problem. It also means you're going to establish that somebody is the criminal before they have even been charged. If the police department or the county district attorney, the city district attorney, if they're going to officially charge somebody with something, that means they have reasonable doubt at minimum, some kind of an evidence that would make them think we do have a legal case to bring charges against a person. But Marsy's Law would mean that somebody can have their rights and privileges taken away and they've not even been charged with a crime. They just have somebody who says, I feel threatened by them, or they say that they've been abused through some way, through some crime, but they've not actually, the person hasn't been convicted of anything, and they may not even have been charged with anything. And this is a major problem. Somebody could say, listen, I feel threatened by so-and-so, and they go to a judge, and that judge can say, listen, I'm going to take away all of your guns because you're a potential threat to this person. The person hasn't actually committed any crime. We just have someone claiming that they're a victim or claiming that they might be a victim sometime later. It completely flips the innocent before proven guilty to guilty before you prove yourself innocent. This is a major attack on the fundamental principle of American justice of innocent until proven guilty. This amendment actually started over in California. California has more than 500 amendments to their state constitution. We have just a little handful of them because the liberals over in California, they just keep pushing all these things on there, taking away all the protections and rights that their founding fathers set up for them. And we don't want to have the same thing here in Kentucky. And since it started over there in California, that should be our first clue that, hey, this thing isn't going to be something that conservatives are going to support. This is being pushed by a very leftist agenda. Now let's talk about some of these rights. It would say here, first of all, that these rights are for the victim and not for the accused. Now, at first that sounds great, but here's one of the problems with that. If somebody breaks into your house and you shoot that person, they can then go into court and say, listen, this person shot me, I am the victim, and you need to take all of their guns away. These are the types of things, unfortunately, that really happen. And now you, as a homeowner, don't get any of these privileges or special rights because they do not apply to the accused. These rights only apply to the victim, and they're claiming that they are the victim and you are the accused. This is the sad state of reality we are in, and one of the reasons to vote no on Marcy's law. Let me give you another reason, is that this law came out in the year 1983. Do you know how many laws for victims' rights protection have been passed since 1983? We already have a very robust set of laws to protect victims of crimes. And if they're like, listen, they need more protection, then let us change some of the laws, not change the Constitution. And that's what's up for a vote this November in Kentucky. They want to change the Kentucky Constitution. If they want to change something for victims' rights, they can change it in the laws, tighten those up, and we already have a myriad of these and don't need our constitutionally protected rights of the accused to be taken away by somebody who's just accusing you of something. So let's talk about this. This is also being opposed by the Gun Owners of America and several other pro-Second Amendment groups. Because again, you can have somebody just have your guns taken away because you were accused of something. Now, one of the problems in this law is it says that victims have the right to protection and dignity. Well, what does that mean? I know that you have the right to protection and dignity. That's very ambiguous. That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. A law must be precise. And if a law is not precise, what does I have the right to dignity, respect, and protection? What does that mean? If the law is not precise, then it's up to the judge to decide what they think it is. Now, here's the problem. If we have laws that are vague, then we're not being ruled by the rule of law. You're being ruled by just the discretion of the judge. And every judge, individual, is going to see things a little different way. So now I have different rights for different people. So this is a very bad law. We already have laws to protect victims' rights. It would also give the victim, supposed victim, the right to speak at every single court proceeding. Now, let's say that they don't want to have this handled quickly. They can say, well, I can't go to this court proceeding because I've been, mentally impaired or abused, and I just can't make it today, and I can't make it for a while. The Seventh Amendment to the Sixth Amendment guarantees you the right to a speedy trial. And here you could have the supposed victim, again, not proven at all, just somebody who accused. They can now take away your right to a speedy trial. Another great big problem. And the other thing is this law would provide the supposed victim from what is called discovery protection. And that means if they don't want to, they don't have to show up in the case and testify or be cross-examined at all. This also violates the Constitution and gives you your right to face your accusers and give you or your attorneys the right to face them and to question them. And you don't have that right anymore because under Marcy's law, you don't get the right to face your accuser unless they want you to. So you have some unnamed accuser who has said that I'm a danger, and so they can have all my guns taken away. I'm not actually committed a crime, and the police and the district attorney won't even charge me with a crime. Yet all of these rights can be taken away. These are some of the major dangers that are associated with Marcy's law. Sounds good on the surface, but it's not good once you actually get into it. Just like Cauliflower and really any movie made by Pauly Shore. It might sound like it's good, but it's not. So anyway, I hope you will vote no on Marcy's law this November to help protect the rights of the accused. We already have constitutionally set in things to protect those who have been accused, and we also have a lot of laws set in place for the victims of crimes. I hope this has been informative for you and that you'll share this information with other people so we can vote this bad constitutional amendment down. Well, until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point. Stand strong and breathe free.